Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News.
Now at 6 o'clock, a Central Kentucky man is behind bars after police rule a toddler's death homicide. Plus, nearly a year later, police say the theft of a large quantity of premium bourbon may have been an inside job. And the Cats take on UL Monroe today at Commonwealth Stadium in an afternoon showdown. We have these stories and more, plus breaking news as it happens, coming up on WKYT this morning. Good morning to you. It is Saturday, October 11th. I'm Whitney Wetzel.
And I'm Mike Linden. Whitney, after a damp Friday, we move into the weekend with damp conditions getting ready to persist throughout the weekend and right into Columbus Day on Monday. So check out Live First Alert Defender right now. Most of the rainfall that we saw yesterday is pushed off to the southeast of us right now, butting up against the mountains there and pushing eastward into Virginia. So odds are if you're waking up this morning, there will be some wet streets out there, but not much coming from the skies to continue to provide for a wet morning. Although in Laurel County, close to London, there we are catching some showers pushing eastward there toward Manchester and Big Creek. And if we continue to move eastward into Perry County, you can see some of those storms sitting right over the southern portion of Hazard. But over the past several hours, we've really seen this rainfall beginning to break down. Not much is left over from that storm yesterday, and currently most spots are starting out in the mid-50s. So not a bad start so far by our standards of how we should normally expect our weekend to get started here in the fall. And as we look toward what I'll be talking about here in the next few minutes, some showers continuing to persist through Saturday, but strong storms, possibly even some severe weather could be in store for us Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I'll take you hour by hour and show you exactly what I'm tracking.
All right, Mike, thank you. A Boyle County man is behind bars this morning after a child's death was ruled a homicide. Investigators say he injured the child that morning, which then led to his arrest. WKYT's Mark Barber is at our live desk with this story. Mark.
Good morning, Whitney. State police say the man supposed to be caring for a one-year-old child killed him. The caretaker, 25-year-old Joseph Adams, is now charged with murder. Adams was arrested yesterday afternoon in Boyle County after police say he injured the toddler, causing the severe trauma that led to the child's death. Police tell us Adams is the boyfriend of the child's mother. We're told he hurt the 13-month-old at a home in Junction City. The child's mother was not available for comment, but we did speak with neighbors who say they are grieving as if the toddler was one of their own.
It is a very sad day today. It just feels like one of my own has passed away, you know. It hurts so bad.
Adams is being held in the Boyle County Detention Center. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Thank you. Police still have not made any arrests for the murder of an elderly Rowan County man. They say a friend found 82-year-old Lloyd Souders dead on Thursday in the driveway of his home near Moorhead. Police ruled Souders' death a homicide. The coroner says he died of multiple sharp and blunt force injuries.
I was devastated. A man that would give you his shirt right off of his back. And for someone to do something to him, it just wasn't right.
State police tell us at this point they do not have a motive for the murder. They also do not have any suspects. Lexington police blame the rain for a crash that tied up traffic on Manowar Boulevard overnight. Police say the crash involved 3 cars at the Bold Bitter Drive intersection. At one point, police had to reroute traffic while they cleaned up that crash. No one was hurt. New this morning, Lexington police are investigating an overnight burglary at a local business. It happened just before 12:30 this morning at Emperor's Cleaners on Richmond Road. Police say someone was passing through that area when they noticed a window was knocked out at the dry cleaners. According to investigators, a man threw a rock through the window of that building and then took some cash. Police say they do not have a description right now of the suspect. Nearly 1 year ago, a thief stole thousands of dollars worth of rare bourbon from a Franklin County distillery. Despite many tips and leads since then, investigators have not been able to track down the stolen Pappy Van Winkle bourbon. But could they now be close to cracking the case? WKYT's Garrett Weimer talks to the Franklin County Sheriff.
Like a lot of stories with questionable endings, this one started with some whiskey. 65 cases of Pappy Van Winkle bourbon, investigators say, stolen from the Buffalo Trace distillery.
And from there, it just went viral.
It's been a high-profile case, but even after more than 100 interviews in the past year, Franklin County Sheriff Pat Melton says the search continues for the $26,000 in missing liquor.
It's not like you've got a ring or a watch or a vehicle. You know, you've got something that is a consumable good, if you will, a lot of bottles, and trying to track that down and what actually happened to it and how they went out and everything else. I mean, it's been a challenge from the start.
Now Melton says investigators think they know what happened and who did it. They just have to prove it. I reached out to a spokesperson here at Buffalo Trace for their reaction. She tells me they won't comment since it's an ongoing investigation. Melton says they still think the theft was an inside job.
There's no way that amount of liquor just gets up and walks out of a secure area. It had to have some help.
And even as the days pass, Melton believes they'll crack the case, and 64 others of the world-famous bourbon. In Franklin County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Sheriff Melton says his office still gets tips and leads to help in the case. If you have any information that could help, call the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. Well, the week started with the latest WKYT Herald Leader Bluegrass poll showing him behind in the race. Senator Mitch McConnell has now ended the week speaking to Commerce Lexington members. After being introduced yesterday afternoon by coal magnate Joe Kraft, McConnell did not have a problem talking about the president. After dodging whether she voted for President Obama, Senate candidate Allison Lundergan Grimes has now enlisted the help of Hillary Clinton. The former Secretary of State will campaign for Grimes Wednesday in Louisville. During a taped meeting with the Louisville Courier-Journal's editorial board, Grimes would not reveal whether she voted for the president in 2008 and 2012. Another major retailer has announced a data breach. Sears Holding Corporation, which operates Kmart stores, says Kmart's information technology team detected the breach yesterday. They think it started early last month. Kmart fixed the problem, but company leaders say some customers' debit and credit card numbers were compromised. Other big retailers, including Target and Home Depot, have also been hit by those hackers. It is 6:07 and WKYT This Morning is just getting started. Have you ever wanted your name in the stars? Well, NASA is giving you that opportunity in their new contest. We'll explain straight ahead.
And coming up, I'm tracking some storms ahead of us this weekend. Not so much this morning, but this is just a taste of the wet weather we expect to see Sunday, Monday, and into the work week next week. I'll show you what I'm talking about coming up.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Welcome back to WKYT This Morning. Here is an update on our top stories. A one-year-old child's death has now been ruled a murder. State police say a man in charge of caring for him actually killed him. They arrested 25-year-old Joseph Adams Friday afternoon in Boyle County. He injured the child at a home in Junction City. KSP says that 13-month-old died at the hospital. Nearly 1 year ago, a thief stole thousands of dollars worth of rare bourbon from a Franklin County distillery. Investigators say 65 cases of Pappy Van Winkle bourbon were stolen from the Buffalo Trace distillery. Police think the theft was an inside job. Senate candidate Allison Lundergan Grimes has enlisted the help of Hillary Clinton. The former Secretary of State will campaign for Grimes Wednesday in Louisville. This comes after Senator Mitch McConnell ends this week speaking to Lexington businessmen.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News.
Now at 6:30, a Boyle County man is behind bars after a one-year-old's death is ruled a homicide. Plus, thousands of dollars of premium bourbon was stolen nearly a year ago, and police say they now believe the theft was an inside job. And the Cats plan to square off against UL Monroe later this afternoon. We'll tell you the plans for another win. We have these stories and more, plus breaking news as it happens, coming up on WKYT This Morning. Good morning to you if you are just joining us on this rainy Saturday. It's getting colder by the day.
Yes, it is. Good morning. I'm Mike Linden. After a damp Friday, we move into Saturday with wet weather continuing throughout the bluegrass, mainly along the Tennessee-Kentucky line this morning. So not so much as widespread as it was yesterday, but we are still tracking some showers for you this morning. So let's take a look at what's going on in the southeast. So Laurel County still picking up some of those showers. So if you're heading along 75 there toward Tennessee, you might be picking up some light showers. Also to the east there near Manchester, we take a bit northeast, and we're catching some showers close to Lee County, pushing eastward into Breathitt County. Again, nothing consistent this morning. It's all very spotty, and if you take a look at what we've been dealing with here over the past several hours, you can see that the showers just continuing to die off as they push toward the east. But coming up in just a few minutes, here's what I'll be talking about, the daily breakdown for you. We are damp as we get started this morning because of that wet weather on Friday. The showers look to continue into Saturday, although spotty in nature, but I'm tracking some showers coming in from the west that is going to become from showers to more consistent wet weather and could result in some strong, even severe storms for Columbus Day Monday. I'll take you hour by hour and show you what I'm tracking coming up in about 10 minutes.
All right, Mike, thank you. In the news this morning, a Boyle County man is behind bars after a child's death was ruled a homicide. Investigators say he injured that child that morning, which then led to his arrest. WKYT's Mark Barber is at our live desk with this story. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Whitney. State police say the boyfriend of the child's mother injured the toddler, causing the severe trauma that led to the child's death. 25-year-old Joseph Adams is now charged with murder. According to state police, the Boyle County man was supposed to be caring for the 13-month-old when he killed him yesterday morning. The child's mother was not available for comment, but we did speak with her Junction City neighbors, who say they feel like they've lost one of their own.
It just makes me sick at my stomach. You know, I was just devastated by it because, you know, it just hurts me so bad, you know, to hear something like that.
The Boyle County Detention Center. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Thank you. Police still have not made any arrests for the murder of an elderly Rowan County man. They say a friend found 82-year-old Lloyd Souders dead Thursday in the driveway of his home near Moorhead. Police ruled Souders' death a homicide. The coroner says he died of multiple sharp and blunt force injuries.
I was devastated. A man that would give you his shirt right off of his back. And for someone to do something to him, it just wasn't right.
State police tell us at this point they do not have a motive for the murder. They also do not have any suspects. A second trial is now set for a double murder suspect in Clark County. Lonnie Martin was already scheduled to be in court May 4th of next year for the death of Kayla Klein. The Winchester Sun reports Martin will now go before a judge on September 14th for the case involving the death of his cousin, Joseph Martin. Martin remains in the Montgomery County Regional Jail. A clerk shot during a robbery attempt is still recovering at UK Hospital, but she is improving. 21-year-old Zoe Reed was working in the Danville Domino's last month when a robber shot her. She lost a kidney, part of her liver, and part of her colon as a result. Her father tells the Danville Advocate Messenger that while Reed has a long road to recovery, she is now taking steps and starting to eat real food. Danville police have arrested 5 people in connection to that crime. Nearly 1 year ago, a thief stole thousands of dollars worth of rare bourbon from a Franklin County distillery. Despite many tips and leads since then, investigators still have not been able to track down the stolen Pappy Van Winkle bourbon. Investigators say 65 cases of the bourbon were stolen from the Buffalo Trace distillery. Franklin County Sheriff Pat Melton says the search continues for the $26,000 in missing liquor.
It's not like you've got a ring or a watch or a vehicle. You know, you've got something that is a consumable good, if you will, a lot of bottles, and trying to track that down and what actually happened to it and how they went out and everything else. I mean, it's been a challenge from the start.
Melton says investigators think they know what happened and who did it. They just have to prove it. Lexington police are investigating a burglary at a laundromat this morning. It happened after midnight at the Emperor's Cleaners on Richmond Road. Investigators say they received a call from a passerby saying he noticed a window that had been smashed. A man had apparently thrown a rock through that window of the business and then took a small amount of cash. Police say they have no description of the suspect right now. Lexington police blame the rain for a crash that tied up traffic on Man o' War Boulevard last night. Police say the crash involved 3 cars at the Bold Bitter Drive intersection. At one point, police had to reroute traffic while they cleaned up that crash. No one was hurt. A 13-year-old is behind bars this weekend, accused of stealing 2 semis. The Clark County Sheriff's Office says the boy first stole a tanker in Winchester and then drove it to Madison County before ditching it. A short time later, police say he then stole another tanker truck at a Madison County gas station. Police later pulled over that truck on I-64 near Winchester for not having taillights and then realized it had been stolen.
I just couldn't believe that a child would be in a big truck like that and not tear out no more than he did.
The teenager is charged with receiving stolen property. Your time now is 6:37 on WKYT this morning. After dodging whether she voted for President Obama, Senate candidate Allison Lundergan Grimes has enlisted the help of Hillary Clinton. The former Secretary of State will campaign for Grimes Wednesday in Louisville. During a taped meeting with the Louisville Courier-Journal's editorial board, Grimes would not reveal whether or not she voted for the president in 2008 and 2012.
Did you vote for President Obama, 2008, 2012?
You know, this election it isn't about the president. It's about making sure we put Kentuckians back to work.
Did you vote for it?
I was actually in 2008 a delegate for Hillary Clinton, and I think that Kentuckians know I'm a Clinton Democrat through and through. I respect the sanctity of the ballot box.
After not answering again, Grimes went on to accuse Senator Mitch McConnell of putting government up for sale by opposing campaign finance reform. While the week started with the latest WKYT Herald Leader Bluegrass poll showing him behind in the race, Senator Mitch McConnell ended the week speaking to Commerce Lexington members. After being introduced yesterday afternoon by coal magnate Joe Kraft, McConnell did not have a problem talking about the president.
The bureaucracy, the executive branch, the people who work for the president, have engaged in massive overregulation all over the country in every sector of our society.
Next up for McConnell and Grimes, they'll debate each other live on KET Monday evening. Veterans across the state have received more than $350,000. The Fayette County Veterans Treatment Court received the grant Friday afternoon. The court helps take veterans out of jail or addiction and put them through helpful programs. More than 800 veterans were drug tested through that program, and 90% of the tests were negative.
This program has turned my life around. I've been narcotic free for 18 months. After serving in the military, I was hurt in the military and during training. After serving, I suffered from on and off, again, active addiction.
Fayette County has the second largest population of veterans in the state. Welcome back. Don't forget about the Bourbon today. The Bourbon Social continues this weekend with 8 events over 3 days and more than 30 bourbons that'll be featured. Proceeds benefit the McKenna Foundation, which supports the Kentucky Children's Hospital. For tickets and event information, check out thebourbonsocial.com. He's become a household name, and it all started when he snatched a video camera from his father's closet at the age of 15. Steve-O will be at Comedy Off-Broadway this weekend. The MTV star joined the circus before hooking up with his rebel pal Johnny Knoxville. Steve-O is on tap for 5 shows this weekend. Visit ComedyOffBroadway.com for showtimes.